Tom Bauer just dropped a bombshell exposing Meghan Markle's real age. According to a recent video making the rounds online, he claims to have found evidence that challenges Meghan Markle's official birth date. The twist? A throwback magazine from March 1997 allegedly lists a 21-year-old Meghan Markle under its Stars of Tomorrow, suggesting an earlier birth year, shifting her from the 1981 date that the palace recognizes. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar, Meghan Markle's widely accepted biography states that she was born on August 4th, 1981. Now, under that timeline, she would have been 15 in March of 1997, not 21. Yet Bauer's claim rests on a magazine page that reportedly lists her as 21 at the time. The implication is explosive. It's either an error, a coincidence, or, to Bauer, a deliberate misrepresentation designed to reshape her public narrative. The suggestion is that someone edited history, or at least polished it. Tom's not new to controversy. His forthcoming unauthorized biography of Meghan and her husband Prince Harry is already billed as an astonishing story of love, betrayal, secrets, and revenge, compiled from interviews with palace insiders and people from Meghan's early life. He has, in the past, accused Meghan of carefully studying Harry's weaknesses before getting involved with him, calling their meeting a sort of manhunt. He's also challenged key stories that she's told about her past. For example, he questioned her narrative about writing letters as a child protesting sexist advertising. He suggested there may have been embellishments in how the story has been retold over the years. Now, whether one believes him or not, there's no denying that he's made a career out of pushing into areas his subjects prefer to keep sealed away. Whether real or exaggerated, the age controversy does tap into something larger than Meghan's birthday. It touches on the idea of public image crafting. In Hollywood, age is currency. In the world of royalty, age connects to legacy, tradition, protocol, and even succession optics. And in a world of modern celebrity, age can shape casting opportunities, relatability, and marketability. If Meghan had a reason to appear younger or older at different points in her career, the speculation writes itself, and Tom knows exactly how to feed that speculation. Meghan's supporters argue that Tom's engaged in what they call character erosion, a pattern they believe has followed Meghan since she first joined the royal family. They point to the number of negative stories pushed about her over the years, many of which were later discredited or based on anonymous sources with questionable credibility. Critics, on the other hand, see the age revelation as part of a long-running suspicion that Meghan has carefully curated every detail of her public persona, including the parts that traditionally remain unchallenged. Furthermore, her relationship with Buckingham Palace has been chronically stained. From the moment she and Harry stepped back from senior royal duties in 2020, tensions have repeatedly surfaced. Several in-depth analyses of the palace's conflicts with the Sussexes exist. Now, those tensions make any new controversy involving Meghan automatically more combustible. It becomes part of a much larger narrative involving family rupture, media battles, public polarization, and the question of the Sussexes' role in modern monarchy. Some royal commentators believe the timing of the age claim is intentional. With Harry and Meghan continuing to build their media empire in America, anything that questions their authenticity hits at the core of their brand. And that's because authenticity is how they position themselves. They've spent years framing their story as one of surviving institutional pressure, escaping toxicity, and speaking raw truth. If Tom can cast doubt on even one foundational detail, it allows critics to question the rest of the narrative too. Others think this entire real age scandal may ultimately fizzle out. A magazine listing from 1997 could easily have been a typographical error. It could refer to a different Meghan Markle, or it could have been written by an editor or contributor who didn't know the actress's age and simply filled in an estimate. Without authentication of the original print issue, it takes only a single flaw in the chain of evidence to collapse the entirety. Tom, whether intentionally or not, knows how to drop a match in that environment. If this claim is eventually proven false, it may weaken his broader credibility as he prepares to release what he promises to be the most revealing book ever written about Meghan and Harry. But if the claim holds up, if the magazine entry is real, authenticated, and unexplainable, it would trigger an avalanche of re-examination across the actress's entire timeline. That would include her early acting years, the way she was presented in Hollywood press, her transition into humanitarian work, and the years leading up to her marriage into the House of Windsor. This rumors also helped revive an older criticism of Meghan that she's always been intensely focused on crafting her narrative. When she married Harry, her PR story often highlighted her humanitarian work, her self-made image, her biracial identity, and her outsider status. Critics argue that the palace found this approach uncomfortable, especially when they felt Meghan sometimes exaggerated or reframed her experiences to strengthen her public profile. Tom has repeatedly leaned into that theme, that Meghan's public persona is polished to perfection and maybe, just maybe, not entirely authentic. Whether one buys this argument or not, it's clear that Tom knows exactly what kind of insinuations get royal watchers talking. Of course, if this rumor grows, which is extremely possible given the lack of concrete evidence, it won't damage Meghan's reputation among her supporters. All 5 that she has left will call it yet another example of unfair attacks, and the internet will move on to the next headline about her Netflix projects or Harry's court cases. But if someone unearths the actual 1997 magazine and it truly listed 21-year-old Meghan Markle, the controversy could reignite even more aggressively, because then people will start asking deeper questions about how such a discrepancy unraveled in the first place. No one is saying that it proves dishonesty, but it would definitely push the public to dissect every page of Meghan's early timeline with renewed intensity. And that's precisely why the rumor has staying power. Even without proof, the claim fuels the narrative that Meghan is a master of reinvention, that she entered the royal family with a plan, and that she spent her entire adult life shaping her image meticulously, step by step. Now, whether any of that is true is a whole other conversation. But in this game, perception is everything, and Tom knows how to manipulate perception like a maestro. For now, the story sits in that rare space between the sensational and the plausible. It's both a lightning rod and a cliffhanger. The world is waiting for receipts. Tom hints that he has them. Meghan's defenders insist that he doesn't. Royal commentators smell a scandal. Skeptics smell clickbait. And fans of the ongoing Sussex versus establishment saga are already leaning forward, ready for the next twist. The thing is, the internet doesn't need evidence to be entertained. It just needs the faintest whisper of drama. Tom has whispered, and the internet has screamed. This is why even now, as the rumor continues swirling without confirmation, it hasn't died down. People are watching to see whether Tom produces proof. They're watching to see how Meghan's team responds. They're watching to see how the palace handles the rising temperature. Because even though Meghan and Harry stepped back from royal duties in 2020, they never stepped out of the spotlight. Their lives are still front-page news, their decisions still spark debate, and their controversies still travel at the speed of light. And look, let's be brutally honest, the public loves the royal scandal, even if it's a half-baked one. So whether Tom reveals something concrete or this turns out to be nothing more than a tabloid rumor wrapped in a dramatic headline, the controversy has already done what controversies always do in Meghan's corner of the internet. It reignited the endless tug-of-war between her critics and supporters, and all Tom had to do was mention one suspicious magazine entry from 1997. So until official documentation surfaces, the claim remains unverified. But that hasn't stopped it from dominating online conversations within minutes of being posted. And as long as Meghan Markle remains one of the most talked about public figures on both sides of the Atlantic, this won't be the last time a story this chaotic breaks into the spotlight.